Hi, Brent. How are you?
Doing great.
Pleasure to meet you.
You too.
We're live right now, doing a very, very cold intro. Where can we set up that's not going to impede your booth too much? Right here? Awesome. So I'm going to sneak in here with you.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. This is kind of neat. What do we have here?
So this is Gruff.
Okay.
It's a tactical combat card game about mutated monster goats.
That's great. Hence, is that why we've got the monster goat sheep behind you?
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're Studio Woe.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's actually one of the monsters in our game.
That's very great. He's very reminiscent of like Cat Dog. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it.
Oh yeah.
But it was very cute. So tell me a little bit about Gruff.
Okay, so the idea is that once upon a time there were 3 billy goats, Gruff.
Okay.
And they were trying to cross a bridge and got stopped by a troll that wanted to eat them.
Right.
But the goats outsmarted the troll, killed the troll, and when that happened, the world realized, you know what, we've been using goats all wrong. What we really need to do is weaponize our goats. So, using black magic and foul science, forbidden breeding practices, you've transformed your herd into the ultimate team of fighting goats called Gruffs. So, you're out taking them for a walk one day, trying to cross a bridge, and there's this other shepherd coming from the other side of the bridge with his team of monster goats. So, you have to fight to the death.
Obviously.
Yeah,
that's the only option at that point.
I can't see any other option around that. So that's what we do. Fight to the death with mutated monster goats. And this is actually a really exciting week for us. This is actually the launch of our first expansion into the game, which is a standalone game called Clash of the Battle Goats.
Okay.
And it's a completely standalone 2-player experience. You can just pick up the box, and it's a great entry point into the world of Gruff.
Okay.
Or you can mix it in with the Goats and Shepherds and Gruff to give you more deck building options and choices.
Okay, so even though it is standalone, it is still a true expansion to the original game.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, very cool. So who designed did you design the game?
Yeah, I'm actually the designer for the game.
Great.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to make Gruff?
That's a really good question. Actually, my wife had this long-term project of drawing monster goats. She's a very prolific concept artist in the video game industry, and she had this project of, I'm going to just take a simple theme and do all the crazy stuff that I can with it. And at the same time, I really wanted to build a combat card game, and we kind of just sort of merged into this one thing where it's like, we're going to make a card game about monster goats, and then of course Gruff was born out of that brew.
That's very cool. So she's a concept artist.
Yep.
Did she do the art for your project?
Yep.
All of the art?
Yep.
That's really awesome.
She does all the drawing and a lot of the color for it, and then also her brother Avery Coleman, who's also a super prolific, amazing concept artist. He also helped us with the color.
Oh, that's cool. It's really awesome that's kind of like a family project.
Yeah. Studio Woe is kind of a family project. We like to say that I'm the fluffy sheep one and she's the goat one.
So what got you into board games originally?
That's a really good question. I've always been very passionate about CCGs and LCGs.
CCGs, card collecting games.
Yeah, collecting card games. LCGs, which is a copyrighted term, but it has to do with living card games. Card games that come in a set and then have expansions that evolve them.
Okay.
Maybe ECG, evolving card games, probably a better term.
Okay.
But I've been passionate about those. But ever since I was a little kid, board games were the glue that would get our family together and play and do things like Rummy Cube and Parcheesi, really old school kind of things, but kind of developed a love of those things from there, and it sort of evolved into my passion of board games.
Awesome. And have you always worked in the board game industry, or?
No, actually, this is a really recent development. Prior to this, I worked at a company called Riot Games on League of Legends.
Okay.
And then before that, I worked at a company called Vigil Games on Darksiders 2. I've worked in the video game industry for about 12 years and just recently shifted into board games.
So your wife is a concept artist. What mask specifically what you were doing in the video industry?
Yeah, I'm an environment artist. So I worked on the most recent update to Summoner's Rift on League of Legends, the big art update that happened on that game. I do environments and dungeons and a little bit of level design on the side.
Very cool.
And always wanted to kind of sink my teeth more into the design chops, so I always had a card game project kind of floating around in the background, and then we launched it on Kickstarter and it did really well, and I was like, you know what, I really like to pursue this full time, so that's what I've done.
Very cool. How did your Kickstarter do? You said it did very well.
Yeah, it did very well. The Kickstarter for Gruff we asked for 10,000. We ended up getting 65,000.
Congratulations!
Yeah, so we funded and then some, enough to kind of launch the team and the project a little bit.
That's awesome.
Clash of the Battle Goats did similarly well. A little bit of a lower price point on both, but that we were asking for less.
Very cool. It must have been really awesome to have this project kind of in the back of your mind while you're working in the video game industry, have the opportunity to finally bring it to life, put it on Kickstarter, ask for the 10K, and then come in 6 times that.
Yeah,
it must have been a really great feeling to put your heart out there and see that the people really love the game.
Yeah, it's really validating to just hear people like your game.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun thing to have happen.
Aside from coming over here to BGG.CON and checking out your awesome booth, which, can I tell you, I absolutely love that you've got your booth kind of themed. That you've got the, I don't know if, Nicole, can you see the chairs, the coverings on the chairs? He's got his boxes back here with the coverings. It's very, very Viking-esque, very sheep herder.
Yeah, we have a whole faction in the game that's just Viking shepherds with their Viking battle goats.
Their battle goats?
Yeah.
So good. How can people get the game?
Well, you can pick it up, ideally, at your friendly local hobby shop. We're in general distribution in the United States and Canada and some places in Europe and the Netherlands.
Very cool.
So you can pick it up through there, or you can pick it up from our website at StudioWoe.com.
Okay.
And we do direct sales through them.
On StudioWoe.com, if they are very eager, they want to go out, they want to get up the game today, do you have a listing on your website of the friendly local game stores that have your games?
I can do that.
Okay, sorry. That's good.
And you can always call up your friendly local game store and ask them if they have it.
That works.
And that would be awesome, because then if they don't, then they'll pick it up.
Because then you can realize that there's the interest out there for this really adorable game.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite card? Now I hope your wife sees this.
Yeah.
What's your favorite card that your wife made?
Oh, my favorite card? I really like this goat. He's Old Darby. So he's like this old beat cop that's like 2 days from retirement, and he just doesn't want to do anything, and you pull him out into one more goat battle, and every time you move him around, he gets meaner and he gets weirder and just super crotchety. And then, and he does this special ability called Flying Leap, where he just goes ballistic and jumps over the enemy team and then murders the enemy shepherd.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let me get a nice close-up of that on the camera. Look at the art and the back of the card, too. Even just the logo is really adorable. I mean, I don't know if adorable is the right word, but for the logo, but the sheep, no. That's really cute.
It's gruff, man. Serious business.
Serious sheep herding.
Yeah, these are serious goats.
Serious. What has been your favorite thing here to see at BGG.CON?
Oh, man. There was this really cool game called Myth. It's just a really simple kids game. It's kind of like a fold-out book, like a pop-up book that turns into a game board.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Where did you see that?
It was over in the other hall, in the Made in Texas hall, and it's a really cool game. Like, you're always searching for that golden spot. Like, as a dad, I'm always looking for something that I can play with my 5-year-old, my 8-year-old, and that they're gonna love, and I'm gonna love, because it's got like tactical depth, and it was absolutely that. Like, simple enough that anybody could understand it, and complex enough that I can have fun playing with them.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a very sleek, well-designed game. I was pretty surprised at how cool that was.
Brent, thank you so much for letting me invade your booth and ask you a bunch of questions, and check out Gruff.
Thanks.
Thank you. Check you later.